It is Friday, the 27th day of March, 2023. And my deepest apologies for being late with this particular episode for no other reason than I slept like absolute horseshit Monday night and just didn't feel like doing the show by the time I got home from work on Tuesday. Unluckily for you, I'm feeling like a whopping $1.75 right now. So let's fucking go. Huh? Apropos of nothing, I was reading an email newsletter that I subscribed to the other day, soccer related, so you know it's good. Anyways, I was thrown off by the number of podcasts that were casually mentioned throughout the body of said email. And then after the third one, I said to myself, there are way too many fucking podcasts available these days. To which I replied, hey, self, are you dumb or something? And then that just kind of devolved into thinking about the sheer volume of entertainment options that are available to everyone these days. Think about it. Podcast, sure. Television, movies, streaming shit, social shit, YouTube. What am I missing? I'm sure I'm missing something. How the fuck does anyone have time for all this? It's a lot. And when you really sit down and think about, okay, how much time do I spend with all of these various means of entertainment? It's hours upon hours upon hours upon hours. And that's me who, I listen to a handful of podcasts, watch a couple of television shows. I don't really watch movies anymore. I spend way too much time on Twitter. My problem, I watch live sports, like way too much fucking live sports. It's entirely overkill, yet more and more and more just keep coming. Constantly. It's something new. Hey, look, it's new. Good news, though. I'm not going to be talking about that anymore today. I'm just going to continue to bore you with my awful podcast. And I am going to talk about office things, work things, Jaylen Brown, Casey Kasem, TV dads, and Alcoholics Anonymous. That's all right here, right now, on episode number 135. It's a big number, man. We're getting into like batting average territory. Right now we're in like old National League pitcher batting averages. 135, right? Anyways, episode number 135 of Complaints and Observations.
Still, the most less than average podcast on the internet. With a host who's the smartest person in the room when he's the only one there. A continuing odyssey into mediocrity. Guaranteed to make you question your life choices and your own sanity. This is Complaints and Observations with Dave LaPointe. Who the hell is Dave LaPointe?
I think he's a bum. I think he's an absolute bum.
All right, what's up? What's going on? How are you? Good? I hope you're good. I hope everything is copacetic as it will, or as you will. Come on. Hold on. Oh, cut the fucking shit. Jesus, had to turn the fucking heater off. It's fucking loud, and it's not really needed. Yeah, so what's going on? Everything all right? I'm good. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. I had a lousy day at the office today. Just not feeling it, and it's all entirely me. It has nothing to do with the job. I mean, no, not really. No, it has nothing to do with the job. As I like the job. It's just, here's my issue, okay? And I was thinking of this the other day, on Tuesday, actually, when I felt like, I did not sleep well, and then when I sleep worse than I usually do, which is awful, but when I sleep worse than that, I'm just very irritable, more so than usual. So it's amplified. Like my normal personality is amplified, and it's not good. Where to the point where I don't like even being around myself on occasion, not all the time, but on occasion. So the office was loud. Now we're in an old building. Uh, it's loud, and it's the sort of company now where you don't have to be in the office every day. It's a 2 day a week type of thing. But basically, it's okay. Try to find the right balance in terms of when you want to go in, when to not go in. Basically, I've been doing like Tuesday, Thursday, or Monday, Thursday. But my schedule is going to change again in Q2. So it's just, I don't know. So like today, for example, it was crowded. There were a lot of people in the office. It's a decent sized office with a lot of people in there, and it got me thinking. Man, like pre-COVID, I remember when I worked at Wayfair, and I vividly remember the last day prior to them kicking everybody out, because of COVID, right? And I'm looking around, I'm like, man, this is something. This is obviously things are going to change, and quite frankly, I thought it was going to be a couple months, maybe a month, and we'd be back. Little did I know I was going to get fucking shit canned and be unemployed for fucking 6 months after that. But that's neither here nor there. What is here or there, uh, there's no way, there is no office in the country that is the same as it was pre COVID, right? There's just no fucking way. For a multitude of reasons. One, I mean, there's probably a lot of people who would just like, fuck that. I'm not going back to the office. I've done my job at home. Why would I go back? Which makes sense. And then there were some companies who rightfully downsized their office space. Some companies who just said, fuck it. It's better for us if we're not leasing office space that we don't need. But the flip side to that is, you working remotely and strictly remote, that I just can't, I couldn't do that either. Like I need that sort of half and half balance. Okay. I just need the office when I'm there to be quieter. And it got me thinking about like all the weird, quirky, like inter-office shit that, pre-COVID everybody used to do, like the inner office drama. The good news is we don't have that. At least not. I'm working very hard to sort of. I don't want to say distance myself because that's not really accurate. I'm just working very hard to work very hard. You know what I'm saying? You might not. You might not give a fuck, but really, I'm just. I'm trying not to be. I guess I don't know. I, I'm trying to think of the right way to express this, and it's not coming out. So it's making for a fucking phenomenal podcast episode, right? I'm just trying very hard not to um, let anything else sort of get in the way of me doing my job. That's probably the best way to put it. And so just and like it's not even not making friends or not being social or not being what's the right word, I can't find it, but whatever, I'm just working hard to work hard basically. So it got me thinking about like all the fucking weird shit that you'd always have to do, all the weird people that I worked with, like not just at my last job but every job I've ever had. And there's always fucking weird ass people, but there are so many like different things that would happen in an office. that thankfully still happen and I find funny. So today, for example, um, I was at a standing desk. I'm like one of the only people with a standing desk that actually stands at their desk. I don't do it all day. I'm an up and down guy. But anyways, I'm standing there. I'm like, oh man, I think I have to shit. I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, no, 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 no. So I kind of just sit there and I'm continuing to do what I was doing, and then I was like, all right, I should probably at least use the restroom or go to the restroom. I go to the bathroom, and the fucking fart that I let out, I'm convinced that somebody heard the fart. Now, the plus side to it is that the office was so fucking loud that there's just no way. But this was like, it was fucking loud. Like I startled myself. That's how loud this fart was. Fart stories on complaints and observations. It's just one of those things where you like walking away from your desk to go fart in the bathroom. That was something that you had to do on occasion. Like if you knew that what you were letting out that particular day was trouble, you've got to get up and go. You have to do it. Decorum. Um, couth. I don't know. That's probably not even the right use of the word. But it's just, it was funny that way. And it was one of you sort of think about, you contemplate things. And um, today for the, I don't know, probably I'm going to go with, boy, I don't know, 24,346th day in a row. I said to myself, God, I fucking hate sales. Fucking hate sales. I don't like lying to customers. I don't like lying, period. I don't like lying to make a sale. In every place I've ever worked, oh, you just tell a fib. Just lie. No, man, no. And it's part of the reason why I'm such a fucking lousy salesperson is because I can't lie. So when somebody says, "Oh, am I able to get this by this day?" And I know full well that they can't, so I just say, I don't come out and say, "No, you can't." I just, I'll try. I'll see what I can do. Even though in the back of my mind, I know fucking full well they're not going to be able to get what they want. But I have a fear of like letting people down, and I shouldn't. If I said to myself, self, stop fucking caring, I would probably be a much better salesperson. But I just can't, and it drives me crazy. The amount of time that I waste on time wasters. I don't know. It's just a work related rant that I want to spit out at you. It doesn't really matter, or is it all entertaining? But it's it's my program, so that's how I feel. That's what I wanted to say. Oh my god, yeah, we're off to a fucking rousing start, huh? Buckle up. I've got other shit to talk about. The hot topic du jour here in the greater Boston area in the last week has been Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics, and the myriad of stories and interviews and whatnot that apparently he's given over the course of the last 3 months that has just upset all sorts of people. Why? Well, because he's a basketball player and he's in Boston. So he's going to make people mad. That's just how it goes, unfortunately. And he calls, he basically calls people out for it, rightfully so. I don't blame him. Which is why I'm extending an olive branch to, not an olive branch. That's the wrong term. I'm extending an invitation to Jalen Brown. Jalen, if you want to come on the show, I know you're listening. You're a, you know, P1 for sure. Come on the show. Let's talk it out. Because what I would ask him, how unbearably frustrating is it that when you give an interview, people around here just love to fucking pick it apart? If I were in his shoes, I would never say a fucking word to the media in this town. Not a fucking single solitary thing. I would nod, be polite, and move on. That's it. I wouldn't talk to them. Not just in this town, but in general. I mean, I read the article that he did with The Ringer, and I didn't really think it was that bad at all. I think he just comes off as, a normal, angry person. Not angry, that's not even the right word, but just a frustrated person. That's how he came off. And I don't I can understand that to a point. Now look, that's not to say that everything he said was right, smart, or no, appropriate's not the right word, but like his whole bit about Kyrie, which I understand you guys are friends, but Jesus Christ, dude, like he stepped in shit. Let him clean his own shoes. You don't have to be there to help him do that. You can understand that he has to do it, but you don't have to be down on your knees cleaning his shoes for him because he stepped in his own shit. Let him deal with it. Quote, Kyrie is one of those people who isn't afraid of being wrong, end quote. Buddy, he should be afraid of being wrong. That's called ignorance. Like, there's a difference there. And the shit that Kyrie was doing and saying, flat out ignorant. He stepped in his own shit. Don't clean his shoes. It's that simple. Like, you can privately be, you can say that he's your friend and this, that, and the other, but I mean, buddy, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I love the fact that he's upfront about his personal feelings for a couple of reasons. First, he's not just a basketball player, and that's the problem with not just Boston, but just sports fans in general throughout the world, is that they tend to separate or combine, I should say, the people that these players are and their actual playing persona. Jaylen Brown, the basketball player, is not Jaylen Brown, the human being. They're two different entities. They're not the same thing. And so when people get all pissy because athletes open their mouth, well, you make a lot of money, you should shut up and dribble. You should shut up and kick. You should shut up and swing a bat, whatever. No, dude. They shouldn't. They're not fucking robots. I don't care how much fucking money they're making. They're people. They're human. They have feelings and emotions. Let it go. Like, honestly, if you get mad at an athlete for saying something, build a bridge. Get the fuck over it, because it's not going to change anything. It's just going to make you look like a fucking idiot. Now, if an athlete wants to look like an idiot, guess what? They can do that. You want to know why? Because they're human. Let them go. I just find the whole reaction so fucking stupid, and the whole thing was like, oh, I don't think he wants to stay here. It's like he didn't say that. Like he didn't. Never came. There's no quote that says I don't want to play in Boston. It's not what it says. It's like, if they respect me, I'll respect them. End of story. Which means Jaylen Brown, the basketball player, also happens to be Jaylen Brown, CEO of Jaylen Brown Enterprises. Like, he's his own brand, he's his own business. And in that role, his job is to make the most money that he can. Why is that such a fucking problem? Do they make way too much money? Of course they do. No one's saying otherwise. No one is out here saying, "Oh, they don't make enough money. They should make more." Everybody knows. Why am I all congested? Everybody knows that they make way too much money, but that's the market. That's the market, and that's the way it is. What's he gonna do? Say, no, you know what? I should make 85 grand a year. Nah, I just play basketball. I'll just keep playing for let's call it 93K, and throw in a bonus every now and again. Bonus every quarter. We'll call it even. No, that's not how it fucking goes, dude. That's not how it goes. So the whole narrative of him not wanting to play here is just it's just one of these weird fucking things. It's a talking point that the media loves to come up with. Mainly because there's nothing else to talk about, or they just like the fact that they can spin shit, to make it fucking sound interesting. I don't know. The whole thing about him and Tatum. Like Marcus Smart said, Brown and Tatum are, quote, probably better friends than most in this league, end quote. It's like, what do you want them to do? Like, fucking hang out, like hold hands and go to dinner together? It's like, fucking shut up. Stop. Boy. I don't know. I just don't understand it. And it's frustrating as a fan when you have to read through this and sift through this and deal with it. Because it becomes a terrible talking point, you know? And it's boring. That's the other problem. It's boring. Like just like trade rumors are boring. Uh, you know, Free agent stuff is different because they're free agents. They can do whatever they want. But trade rumors, they're just that. It's fodder. It's fodder for the lowest common sports denominator. That's a terrible joke. Not even a joke. He's a complicated guy. He's not complicated. He's a smart guy. He's an interesting guy. And I like him, and I hope he sticks around here. Not only because he's a phenomenal basketball player, but I think he could expand his brand within the city and become a pillar of the community, which I think would be nice. But man, oh man, I want them to win a title so bad. Just win a title. And then we can worry about all this other crap. Asked about, continuing to play in Boston. Quote, I just enjoy the time that you have now. End quote. That's what you should be doing. Looking at the now, looking at the present, staying focused in the current tense. It makes no point to look back or look forward if you're not concentrating on the now, the present moment. And I think that's what he's trying to do. Trying to stay present. But if he points out that some of the Boston Celtic fan base is fucking shitty, the shitty portion of the Boston Celtics I almost said podcast. Boston Celtics fan base is going to get louder than the rest of them. It's always how it goes. Boo. So, Jaylen, I know that you're listening. I'd love to have you on the show. You can talk about anything you want, literally. No holds barred. If you want to talk about that movie, we can talk about that. 617-65 rip 'em. Love to have you on. I'm on a roll with guests. I don't have anybody else lined up. So, if you want to come on. Yeah. Support for complaints and observations comes from listeners like you and by the LaPointe Institute of Thinking, proud to assist the public with the critically important function of logical common sense since 1978. I had a terrible thought last weekend. Wife and I went to a fundraiser for a friend of hers whose family member has cancer. So it was a fundraiser for this family member. And, as you are wont to do at these things, you purchase raffle tickets and try to win prizes that, sometimes are exciting, sometimes aren't, and sometimes you're just there to donate. That's the whole point. So, as I am retired from gambling, this is not a form of gambling. This is a donation. And if I didn't win anything, I would have come out of there saying, "Oh, dang, would have liked to have won something," but felt good about the donation that I made. Lucky for me, though, I won a bunch of shit. And it got me thinking, it's like, how do you thank a person who is either the person who's like in charge of the event, um, the person who the benefit is for? Like, how do you thank them? I would not have been at this event had it not been for the fact that this woman had cancer. Right? Think about that. How fucked up is that? Like, what do you say? If you say thank you, right? What does that imply? That literally implies that I was saying, hey, thanks for having cancer. I get to walk out of here with this cooler full of crap because of your cancer. What a fucking shitty thing to think. Kind of funny, but shitty. Because honestly, when you think about it, right? How else? It's not as if they were just throwing a party and had a fucking raffle. That's not how it was. I wasn't there to just hang out in some fucking rinky dink fucking Quincy function room, right? I was there because this person had cancer. That was why I was there. And I walked out of there with prizes. So, like, how do you reconcile that? Oh, that's a good bit right there. So, I gotta stop saying free to use it because that's a good bit. I should keep track of these things. I know a faithful listener of the show, Jacques of the Carnival Personnel podcast, stole my stole my QR code bit that would take you to Pornhub to show a child being conceived. That's a good bit. Oh boy, that's funny. That's the thing though, right? If you're a comic and you have a podcast, right? What do you do if you come up with something? Well, look, if you're a good comic and you have a podcast that people listen to, then it doesn't matter. But I'm just wondering, like, let's say you're not a good comic. Let's say you're a mediocre comic. And you come up with a bit on your podcast that is pretty good. Do you like stop, go back, delete that, and then just try to start over? I don't know. Oh boy. Yeah. But it was funny because the dynamic of this particular event, there was a bar downstairs for someone, an event, a benefit for someone with cancer, and then upstairs was a gigantic Alcoholics Anonymous party. And it's funny because one of my wife's friends showed up to the hall and went to the wrong location, walked upstairs instead of downstairs, and upstairs was the AA event. And there's a bunch of fucking people dancing up a storm. And, she doesn't know. She's oblivious. She goes to the bar and orders a White Claw at a fucking AA event. It's actually pretty funny. She thought it was the funniest fucking thing ever. And then turns out there was somebody there who recognized her from Facebook, which I also found funny because, fuck Facebook. But it's like, oh, we're Facebook friends. I'm like, oh, that must have been awkward. I mean, she thought it was the funniest fucking thing ever. It was pretty funny. I don't know about the funniest fucking thing ever, but it was pretty funny. Got a kick out of that. You know what else I got a kick out of? So, and I'm sure you've heard about this, but the guy who is suing Buffalo Wild Wings for calling their boneless wings. Well, I looked into it. I'm like, all right, what's the deal with this guy? Turns out this fucking dude is all about the frivolous lawsuit. He has also sued Tom's mouthwash for not being natural enough, apparently. Kind granola bars, arguing that the, quote, high in fiber, end quote, label on their granola is misleading. And he's also sued Hefty, the trash bag company, saying that their recycling bags were not actually recyclable. Like, those are fucking 3 legit lawsuits, and now he's adding a 4th, saying that boneless wings are just chicken breast, which he said amounts to, quote, deceptive marketing, end quote. Guess what? He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. But this motherfucker just sues everybody. Like, hey, you want to throw this shit? This is probably another wannabe ad man. He's pissed off. Like, how dare you, Tom's mouthwash? Tom's Wicked Fresh mouthwash. I'm suing the parent company, which I think is like Colgate. And like one of the funniest parts about the story that I found was like, it said in the headline, an attorney says it's possible that he's quote, just being annoying, end quote. Well, yeah. Of course he is. Because he knows, 1, Buffalo Wild Wings blows, and 2, Buffalo boneless wings are not wings. You would think that, you would hope, I should say, this would put the fear of God into every fucking restaurant in America who just loves boneless wings. Change the name. Stop calling it boneless wings. There's a bunch of fucking quotes from like attorneys that aren't involved in the case. Like, these lawsuits, quote, are not cases that I would even touch with a 10-foot legal pole, end quote. A 10-foot legal pole. That's a good band name. 10-foot legal pole. That's great. Yeah, okay, no shit, pal. We all know that. But fucking food, am I right? Food. I was high as balls the other day, last weekend, watching what's the fucking Tournament of Champions? Tournament of Champions 4, hosted by Guy Fieri. That's right, the great Guy Fieri. And one of the judges is this guy Jonathan Waxman. And every time Jonathan Waxman comes out onto the stage, like the chefs fucking freak out. Oh my God, it's Jonathan Waxman. So me being high as fuck, I started saying, oh my God, it's Jonathan Waxman, as if, in the old like Jim Ross, it's Stone Cold voice. Like, oh my God, it's Jonathan Waxman. It's only funny to me, really, but still. So I'm like, all right, why is Jonathan Waxman so revered, right? Well, according to Wikipedia, he is an American chef who was one of the pioneers of California cuisine and is credited with being the first to bring its style, fusing French cooking techniques with the freshest local ingredients to New York. It's like, oh, okay. So what's California cuisine, you might ask? Well, also according to Wikipedia, it is a food movement that originated in California. You don't fucking say. The cuisine focuses on dishes that are driven by local and sustainable ingredients with an attention to seasonality and an emphasis on the bounty of the region. So, in other words, they use shit that's grown around them wherever they happen to be, and suddenly that is a food movement. This is what pisses me off about food and chefs, and I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. And we're not supposed to get it because we're not chefs. Who you have to call chef or they get fucking pissy. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Yes, chef. Shut the fuck up. Stop. This whole thing, this Jonathan Waxman guy, okay, you're a fucking chef who decided to use ingredients from your farmer's market and suddenly you're a genius. What? What? What are we doing? He was a contestant on Bravo's Top Chef Masters, but was eliminated in the penultimate episode, placing fourth of 18 competitors. One of the main judges has been quoted as saying, quote, "I think he's one of the country's greatest chefs," end quote. Whoa. Whoa. Jonathan Waxman. I don't know. I don't know, man. Oh my God. It's just weird. It's just weird. Groundbreaking cuisine of using shit grown at a farm around your restaurant. Whoa. Oh my God. That's incredible. I guess once you find a niche and stick with it and it's your thing, then you can be that thing all you want, right? I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Yeah. I know I mentioned Casey Kasem. Do yourself a favor and look up Casey Kasem's like final years. It's really fucked up. That dude died and wasn't buried for 6 months because his wife was a lunatic and wouldn't let his kids see his wife. His wife basically moved the body from California to Montreal because she didn't want the kids to see him. What the fuck is that shit? Yeah. My wife told me about that. I was like, Jesus. And then I spent way too much time like looking into it and reading about it. It's pretty fucked up. And now he's buried in like Sweden or some shit. Like the guy who hosted American Top 40 American is buried in fucking Sweden or Norway, one of the two. That's fucked up. I don't know why it's fucked up, but it's pretty fucked up. So I'm thrilled as always to have voicemails. I thoroughly enjoy getting voicemails. I enjoy the off the wall nature of some of them, the ridiculousness of most of them, and just the fact that people took a few minutes or a couple minutes to compile a thought and dial the number and share it on the recording. I enjoy that. However, what I don't enjoy is the unfunny or the uninteresting. And I got two this week who I'm fairly certain is the same person who called in last week with the dumb Guy Fieri bit, uh, which turned into a worse bit because of the bit that I put in. But whatever. It's my show. So, because I'm consistent when I say that I play every single voicemail that I get, here are a couple of examples of uh like you're trying hard, you're trying, it's not working. So here you go.
So I don't know if this is a problem that everybody has, but I don't understand why people like cats. I come home from work every day and my neighbor's damn cat is sitting on the hood of my car. Like, seriously. Like, I don't understand. Like, when you have a cat, you feed them a little bit, they go poop in the litter box, they poop in your house. Like, who wants an animal that poops in their house in a bunch of sand? Like, they don't even clean it themselves. And then, when you have them running around the house, all they do is they go in between your legs and they try to like touch you, but like sometimes if you touch them wrong, it hits at you. Like, I just don't get why people like cats. And it walks all over my car, leaves these silly little paw prints everywhere. It's unbelievable. I just don't get it. And then if you get a cat with the long hair and it comes with all the big knots and the shambles, and you gotta like brush it, and the poop gets stuck onto the butthole, and you have to like comb all the hair out. It's silly. I just don't get people with cats. And then you go to people's house and they say, "Oh, don't touch my cat. That's Jackie. He doesn't like people." Like, why the fuck would you have a cat that doesn't like people? If I had a fucking cat and didn't like people, I would get rid of it. I would bring him. I'd let him loose so he can go run around and find somebody that he actually likes. Like, oh, don't go near Fluffy. He doesn't like people. He hisses at him. Or keep your kids away from Natty because sometimes he bites. Like, why would you ever have a cat like that? It just seems so silly. If you have a bad cat, get rid of it. Doesn't matter. And don't let him go on people's cars. Jesus. Have a good day. Bye.
Hello, this is Saul Rosenberg, and I just called to tell you that your podcast fucking sucks. And I'm gonna come down there and I'm gonna bring all my shoes and all my glasses, and I'm gonna fuck you up. Goodbye.
See what I'm saying? Like, the best part of that is what was it? If he get if you get a cat with the long hair and it comes all the big knots and the shambles, and you're going to brush it, and the poop gets stuck into the butthole, and you have to comb all the hair out. It's silly. Yes, it's very silly. Good try, good effort. Appreciate you. Um, Please call back anytime. Like I've said, everybody that calls in gets on the show. Even the really bad Jerky Boys impression, you'll still get on the show. 617-657-4736. Call in. Have a take. Don't suck. Oh boy. Uh yeah. I got nothing else. Well, I mean, there's more. It's just that, after that, it's all uphill. It can only go one way. After limited fake Saul Rosenberg said that my show fucking sucks. Yeah, no shit, Saul. Thanks for listening, asshole. As it is Friday, it is time for everyone's favorite part of the program, the end. And three gripes. Gripe number one: people 35 years old and younger have no fucking clue how to make coffee. Zero, none, nada. This was going to be part of my like office rant, but then I remembered, wait a minute, this was a fucking legitimate gripe. The other day, I'm at the office, and the coffee maker there is, your standard sort of automatic, not automatic, but it's a coffee maker with a water line. It's an not industrial, but a commercial coffee maker, right? But it only has one burner, so it's not like one that you would see at a diner where there's, pots on top and shit like that. Then it's got the insulated pots that have different. Theoretically, it's supposed to have different types of coffee in it, but we only have one type of fucking garbage coffee. So I needed some coffee the other day, and I go over and go to the coffee machine. I pull the basket out, the little basket holder where the filter and the coffee go. I pulled it out. One of these dumb motherfuckers took a filter, right? Put it into the basket, and then put, no word of a lie, there had to have been at least 3/4 of a pound of coffee in this basket. And then they brewed a pot of coffee with all of that coffee in there. On what fucking planet do you think that's acceptable? Like, I work with what I assumed to be a large number of smart people. Yet every fucking morning, the mornings that I go into the office, the fucking sink there is full of dishes because of these heathens. They can't put their fucking dishes away. Uh, I've been working for this company since October. Really, probably since first week of December, because the first couple weeks was training, and then I was away for a month and come back in December. So really like 3+ months, right? 4 months. We're about ready to um, add the third dishwasher since I've been there, because not only do they not know how to make coffee, they don't know how to load and operate a fucking dishwasher. What is going on? What happened? Like, where's the disconnect between Gen X and Gen Y/Z? What the fuck happened? Like, it's just so many of these simple, tiny little things that I can't wrap my head around when it comes to younger people. And this is such a fucking stupid old man complaint, but it's like, just read the fucking directions. It's literally on the back of the fucking bag of coffee. 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons, whatever. Like, 3/4 of a pound of coffee is not how you make coffee. And I always think to myself, boy, why is the coffee in here so awful? I know why. These fucking numbskulls have no clue what the fuck they're doing. And it's not just coffee, right? As I complained about the dishwasher thing, the dishes in the office. Like, it's just one of these things that doesn't make a fucking lick of sense. There's literally zero reason for any of this. For the fucking breaking the goddamn dishwasher all the time, for not knowing how to brew coffee, to leaving a bunch of shit in the fucking refrigerator all the time, to leaving trash all over the fucking office. Like, these people live like fucking pigs. It's awful. They're not stupid, yet they're so fucking dumb. And there you have it. That is my assessment on the younger generations. Thank you. They don't know how to make coffee. And then if you ever just watch them like pour a cup of coffee, so they pour the coffee in, then they pour the milk in, then they put 17 fucking sugars in it. I go, what do you, why? What is the point? Oh, I don't like the way it tastes. Well, you're gonna drink it, and then what you're gonna do is you'll drink half of it, then you'll pick it up and carry it somewhere, and leave that cup in a random place where no one will find it for 2 days. That's how it works. Gripe number two. I would like to extend a massive congratulations to something that has been on the gripes list and mentioned on the show so many fucking times that it's become trite. National Grid. Honestly, fuck off. Here is a company that has the fucking balls. And look, they'll tell you that they adjust their rates twice per year, right? The rate adjustment that we got in November cranked the fucking rates through the fucking roof. Through the roof. And now they have the fucking balls to say, "Oh, guess what? The prices are going down. We're going to drop the price." And their excuse for raising the price 40% in the first place, just so that they can then mark it down 40% and get praise and backpats. Oh, supply chain issues and the issue in Ukraine. It's like, no, motherfucker. It's because you fucking assholes just wanted to make more money. Shut the fuck up. I would. I'm waiting for the day when a corporate entity of some kind just comes out and says what is the actual reason that they're gouging customers. Just say it. Just say it. Say, hey, you know what? We don't give a fuck about any of you people. We just want to make a ton of money. Who is going to be the first company to say that? Who's it going to be? Because here's the thing, National Grid, they could get away with it. What are people going to do? They need electricity, right? They have to keep paying it. Or they shut their electricity off. And then what? Then they don't have electricity at all. Wonder why? It's a fucking monopoly. It's a regional monopoly. I have no choice but to buy my electricity from National Grid unless I have solar panels, which I don't. Now, some people might say, well, you can buy it through a third party. Well, where do you think they're getting it from, you dumb fucks? It's all coming from one place in this particular neck of the nape, and it is National Grid. So, National Grid, fuck you. Gripe number three, TV dads. Why are TV dads always dumb? Not always, but in most cases, dumb. I don't know. And I thought of that the other day because one of these insurance companies is running a thing where it's like TV, TV dads, and then it's Carl Winslow. Really, Carl? It's one of these fucking words I can't say. Ugh. Carl. It's because the RL sound is just not ARL doesn't go together. The English language, folks, it sucks. Carl Winslow dispensing fatherly advice. You know who the ultimate TV dad was? Remember the old, I think it was a Church of Latter-day Saints commercial. I can't remember what it was. And it was basically, the kid is lying in his bed and he's got headphones on, and his dad comes charging in. And he's holding a box, and inside the box, oh, it's just like partnership for a drug-free America. That was 1987. I thought it was older than that. So the kid's just laying laying on his bed. It's so good. He's laying on his bed, and his dad comes charging in. Of course, his dad is wearing like the standard '80s, parent outfit of the blue dress shirt with a tie and a mustache. Who taught you how to do this stuff? You, all right? I learned it by watching you. And then there's just that contemplative look on the man's face. The best TV dad is that guy. You want to know why? Because he taught his son how to smoke weed. properly. He smoked weed in plain sight so that his son could gain the knowledge that he needed to then be a stoner. But it's I watched it the other day, and it was one of these things where you're sort of breaking it apart, right? This kid's stash box is legit. It's like an old cigar box, and inside of it is like, the weed is in nice neat baggies. There's like a couple of lighters in there. There might have been a pipe. I'm not entirely sure, but it's good stuff, man. I got such a kick out of it. I laughed heartily. It's like the dad is just the fucking dad. Oh man, love it. Anyways, so that's it for the show. Hope you enjoyed it as always. If you didn't, look, I don't really care. Wanna know why? It's my show. It's kind of a shitty attitude to have, I know, but it's just how it goes, right? It's just how it is. If you'd like to be part of the show, feel free. Let me know. Love to have you on. Talk about anything you want. Do you know someone who wants to be on the show? I'll talk to anybody. I've been very lucky in that everyone that I've had on the show, for the most part, they've been just good people. So it's worked out nice. You can pre-order um, Robert Dean's book, Existential Thirst Trap, coming out May 8th. You can go to barnesandnoble.com and pre-order there. You can listen to Gene Dante on any of your streaming services. Gene Dante and the Future Starlets. Check it out. Soon, hopefully, Sunday, we'll get a new EP from The Quiet Violent. You can also there's other people that you can take a listen to and check out. Um, uh, yeah, can't remember the fucking dude's name. God, I hate that. I hate being old and forgetting shit. I'm not that old. Shut up. You could also call in and be part of the show. But again, if you call and leave a voicemail, it's going to be on the show. Uh, you know, and if you're going to do like your Jim J. Bullock voice impression talking about cats, it's coming on. If you're going to do a bad Saul Rosenberg, it's going to be on. 617-657-4736. If you want to say that my show sucks, fine. It's not news, but fine, yeah, whatever. Call in. Love to hear from you. Tell me what's on your mind. Tell me what's going on in your life, and I'll judge you. Really? That's a rude thing to say, right? At Complaints Pod on Twitter, at Complaints Pod on Instagram. Check it out. I do have a Facebook page, but fuck Facebook. I have a YouTube channel that I don't do anything with. I have a Twitch channel that I can't figure out. I'm also on Mastodon and Post, I think. But yeah, that's it. So thank you as always. I think 2 weeks, the gratitude episode. So keep an eye on all these social channels. I'll be sharing, stuff where you can share your thoughts of gratitude, and then I do an episode of the show that isn't petty and boring. It'll just be, shiny happy. That's all. But until next time, friends, tell your friends, tell your moms. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Godspeed. Ta-ta.
speechless.